Hello guys, Melky here, and I'm going to read a law in my country. It's about information technology and electronic transaction, and I'm trying to translate it in English. That is for myself, and I hope it could benefit other people as well. Um, this is not a legal advice. I'm not a legal professional at all. Uh, Very likely I'm going to make mistakes because I'm going to try to figure things out the right things. However, as as I said, I'm trying to find the right things means I'm going to make mistakes. I'm not haven't figured out the right things yet. Okay, let's start. Um, the Republic of Indonesia's Constitution, number 19 2016. It's a update for the previous constitution about information and electronic transaction. And by the grace of God, the President of Republic of Indonesia, and considering it's about justice and acknowledgement of freedom and other people's freedom, and for public order and safety for in the democratic society. The previous constitution needs to be renewed for in order to achieve justice, public order, and law certainty. What does it call? Like law certainty. Okay, next. B, for the consideration in A, we need an update for the previous constitution about information and electronic transaction. And this is a referral to previous laws. Referral to the other higher constitution. This is the declaration, not the declaration, like the basic constitution. So the higher constitution, the highest constitution, during as the highest of the highest constitution, right? These are the referral to the chapter 5 verse 1, chapter 20, chapter 25a, and so on, and also referral to the previous constitution. So this is the council or the representative of the people of Republic of Indonesia, as together with the president, decided the renewal of the previous constitution. Chapter 1, I don't know why it does that. Okay, some of the things in the previous constitution is changed as follows. Between number 6 and 7, chapter 1, we put in one number, which is number 6a, so that chapter 1 will say as follows. Electronic information is one or a collection of electronic data, including but not limited to writings, voices, pictures, maps, designs, pictures as in photographic pictures, electronic data interchange, electronic mail, telegram, telex, what do you call it, telecopy or like, letters, signs, numbers, access codes, symbols, or perforation that has been processed, what do you call it, telah diolah, yang memiliki arti atau dapat dipahami oleh orang yang mampu memahaminya. It means like that is meaningful and understandable by the by the people who could understand it. This is interesting, right? Because of, let's say, for example, innuendo, likely you talk in innuendo. It's it is like it is designed not to be responsible, right? Innuendo is specifically trying to not be responsible about things that said. But if it kind of, if the law actually covers things that are meaningful, understandable, and understandable to the person who could understand it, and it could pursue innuendo. Probably it could be used to pursue innuendo. I would totally celebrate that, because I hope people would just don't abuse innuendo in life. Okay, they are like, that's so irresponsible. Okay, next. Electronic transaction is the law activity that is performed using a computer or computer network or other electronic medias. Electronic information is a technique. Information technology is a technique to collect, prepare, store, process, announce, analyze, and spreading information. Electronic document is every electronic information that is made, forwarded, sent, received, or stored in the form of analog, digital, electromagnetic, optical, and the like, that could be seen, displayed, or heard through computer or electronic system, including but not limited to writings, voices, pictures, map, designs, photographic picture, or alike, letters, signs, numbers, access code, symbol, or perforation that has meaning, or meaning that could be understood by by the people who could understand it. Electronic system is a collection of devices and electronical procedures, which functions is to prepare, collect, process, analyze, store, display, announce, send, and or spread electronic information. The what do you call it? Um, the the execution of electronic system is the usage of electronic system by the country's executor, runner. It's more like execute, run, venture, or be responsible for, or a business. That's the kind of meaning that I'm trying to convey by the word penyelenggaraan. Okay, and then country, person, company, and or the people. All of these are a lot of definitions and stuff. I kind of, yeah, these are all important, but I'm going to skip them because it wouldn't make sense, because human beings have limited attention span, right? If there's something important that's needed to go deeper, probably we would go there. But for now, we will just scrape the surface. Let's try to just scrape the surface because of our or mine my attention span. Okay, it wouldn't make sense, guys, even though it is logical. But if you don't have the memory, or you don't have the habit and stuff, it wouldn't make sense, at least immediately, for a lot of people, including me. Now let's get into something here. This is straight to the chapter 26. So this is, we have to read the whole previous constitution, because it is not displayed in whole with the update here. I think it is pretty difficult. We need the full version of the whole thing, right? But I'm just going to read this because I didn't know that it is like this before. Might as well just read it. Unless determined otherwise by the Constitution, the usage of information through electronic media regarding personal data of other people should be performed with in accordance or in like in what do you call in endorsement of the said person. Right, it's about personal data. So we need to go to the definition of personal data in order to fully understand this one. But let's continue for now. Every person that has been violated, as in the previous sentence, right, or first one, can sue for damages caused by this constitution, like caused by this for the cost damages based on this constitution. Every system, electronical system executor, let me just say that, are required to erase electronic information and or electronic documents irrelevant under their control when requested by the said person based on the court order. So you need a court order for a provider, okay, for internet provider, I think, to do that. Every electronic system provider needs to provide mechanism of erasure of electronic information and or electronic documents that has not been relevant in accordance with the constitution. About how to erase electronic information or electronic documents, said in verse 3 and verse 4, is regulated in the government's order. So there is a hierarchy of order in the country, right? The firstly constitution, and then the, like in the US, I think, then the bills, right? The bills, I think, this is a little bit like the bills, where no, it's somewhat like the bills, where the government or the executive is the one who's making this kind of order, the government's order. So this is the government's regulation made by the executives. So what I'm reading here is made by the legislative. They are referring that, okay, the executive is going to regulate for the for the instruction on how to erase these documents, referred in reference to verse 3 and 4 right there. Chapter 27, still with the change, one on the first of 1, 3 and 4. Okay, they're referring to the previous constitution. Next, now chapter 31 is renewed to become like this: every person, whether it's on purpose or every person purposefully and without rights or against the law, perform interception or bugging for electronic information or electronic documents in a computer or an electronic system owned by another person. Every person, so they are defining the perpetrator here. So this second verse is like the first one, where they are not really explaining everything, they're just focusing on the object or the subject here, or the person here. They're defining the one who is going to be talked about. Every person, whether on purpose or without rights or against the law, performed hacking, let's just say hacking into information, non-public information, from, to, and within a computer or electronic system owned by another person, whether or not cause any changes, or cause any change, any alteration, um, disappearance, or cease or stopping of information, electronic information or electronic document transmission. Also, in this, the second one is different in a way that it's talking about document that is transmitted, that is, in transportation. um, but not included the one that is performed by the authorities, like the police, the DA. What do you call it in English? The prosecutor, or other institution, um, determined by the Constitution, and then it's regulated by the Constitution. It's not explaining. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. This one, you really need the previous Constitution to make sense of it. But yeah, okay then. This is lame. This video that I make is lame. Not the Constitution. This one that I make is lame. Um, Let me see. Try to get a meaning out of this. About hacking, it's very interesting about hacking. Oh, all right. I'm sorry about that, guys. But you know what? This it's a start. It's so disappointing, but I'm really sorry about this. They're talking about. You know what? I'm going to try to get trying to squeeze something out. They're talking about the usage of information technology. They're talking about they're defining rights, personal rights. Um, like here, interesting stuff here. The personal rights is a right to be able to communicate with other people without anyone without being spied upon. Personal right is a personal right to enjoy personal life. Personal rights is a right to enjoy personal life free from any kinds of interference or annoyance. Oh my god, this is important. A personal right is the right to supervise or access information about personal life and one's data. Wow. Whew. Wow, guys. Right? Very relevant. Like in the nowadays we have big electronical companies, even small companies like application providers that gather your data, and sometimes there are naughty parties, irresponsible people who actually listen to your conversations and stuff, and who actually probably collecting your pictures or your reaction of what's happening in the application. And I like, if it is used like non-personally, or it's just used for algorithm, I guess a lot of people already like, oh my god, like what can we do already? But as an employee, if there's an employee in the company, it doesn't have to be TikTok, doesn't have to be YouTube. It could be just a small gaming company that you use, or an application, or like a photo alteration small application. But these irresponsible people who have access to your camera, right? They're collecting your pictures and stuff, and they use it for their own and probably it is a person who know you. It could be really dangerous, right? It could be something that is embarrassing, or it could be something that could influence your career, your life. And if this information were spread, employer probably don't want to employ you, or probably a potential business business partner wouldn't partner with you because of all of this information. Well, personally, I think if you have information about other people that is collected from hacking, it's going to be different in a way that if you get the information through the network that is legal, what's going to happen, what's going to play out in reality, legally speaking, right? It's going to be like that. But if it is true hacking, it's when it plays out in reality, right? It's going to go through this resistance or legal resistance and stuff, which is inconclusive, or it is something that is not like that, right? For example, what I'm talking about, you heard someone talk, like to swear in their private life, in their own room, right? They like swearing, and officially speaking, this guy's, yeah, he's like so easily swearing and stuff. But because the information you get is from hacking, pretty likely the chance of them being like that in real life is going to be different. Apparently this person, you know what, this person likes to swear, but actually in a funny way in public. He's just like swearing in his private life, to brainstorm himself. It's really a different purpose. But on the other hand, if you get it through a legal means, let's say for example this person got into a camera hotel and he allowed himself to be filmed while staying in the hotel, and then this person liked to swear a lot and insult everybody, it is pretty likely when you meet him in person he would be like that as well. Okay, it's so it's really unfair, right? The context of it is different. You cannot, like, the information you conclude from things that are hacked or things that are illegal is going to play it out when it translates into a legal context, in a context where it is official. It's going to be translated. That's what I'm trying to say. It's going to be translated. Whether it's going to be low resistance translation or high resistance translation, highly transformative or lowly transformative, it is going to be translated, guys. Don't use it. Just don't use the information like that. Or am I going to say use it with a grain of salt? Just don't conclude from it. It's just unless it's terrorism. Okay, when it comes to terrorism, the terrorist is not going to bother to go through officialness. You know what I mean? And it's just it's very relevant. But when it comes to people who are willing to play the game, let's say, or who are willing to go through all of this, not red tape, all of these customs, right? That is in the society, that is in the law. It's all of this context, and submit to this context, right? It is a context of history that has thousands of years of history, and there's a evolutionary reason for them to be there. It is so respectful, and to conclude something and to dismiss them, you know what I mean, to dismiss all of this context and jump into the conclusion about another person based on the data you collected in circumvent of this context is really, guys, it's, what do you, okay guys, that's it. I'm sorry about this result, guys. I mean, it's not going to be very engaging, because you need the original constitution. And even if I went straight to the original constitution, it has been updated, so it feels like, oh, what's the point? I need the updated version in full probably is going to be difficult to find it, but I have read the previous version. I've read also the new version. I think in because I've read the previous version, the new version is an update for me automatically. But what I want to find is actually something that is in one text like that. But anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching for now. Hopefully, I could redeem myself a little bit. But if it's not, like, please leave your complaints in the comment section, and I'm going to hear it. I'm going to read it, probably. Very likely. Likely. Goodbye.